I thought I was very, very clear in my previous video where I told you to not visit this country, Malaysia. My previous video has over 500,000 views, and all those people have seen my video about why you should never visit this country, Malaysia. Well, I hope I made my point, but just to be sure, in this video I'll make it very, very clear why you should never visit Malaysia. Let's start with some crazy facts about Malaysia that you probably did not know. Did you know that one of the tallest mountains in the whole world can be found here in Malaysia? At 4,095 meters above sea level, Mount Kinabalu is actually the 20th most prominent mountain in the world. Yes, here in Malaysia. So I guess if you don't like good views, if you don't like hiking and climbing up mountains, if you don't like beautiful scenery, then Malaysia is not your place to go. Speaking of height, did you know that Malaysia once was home to the tallest building in the world? Yeah, the Petronas Twin Towers were once the tallest building in the world. Well, the two tallest buildings in the world. Nowadays, they're just the tallest twin towers in the world. So, if you don't like modern architecture, if you don't like large cities with modern facilities and beautiful buildings, well then don't come to Malaysia. Alright, so I've got another fun fact about Malaysia, which you probably don't care about anyways. But did you know that there are tens of thousands of orangutan living here in the Malaysian rainforests? Tens of thousands, yeah. Now, if you don't care about orangutans, if you don't like these beautiful, hairy and unique creatures, well, if you don't like them, and if you never want to see them, skip. Yeah, probably just skip coming to Malaysia. Okay, I know not many people like flowers, right? Which is great because in Malaysia there's only the largest flower in the whole world, and it's called the Rafflesia flower. This flower can grow up to 3 feet in diameter. It's a really beautiful flower. But then again, who'd want to see that? Did you know that Malaysia doesn't just have one, but 2 UNESCO World Heritage cities? Yeah, again, here in Malaysia. The city of Penang, well, Georgetown on Penang, and Malacca, they've both been listed as UNESCO World Heritage Site cities, which means that they are some of the most beautiful cities in the whole world. So, yeah, I can imagine that if you don't like a good combo of culture, history, amazing architecture, delicious food, then don't visit those 2 cities here in Malaysia. Well, basically just don't come to Malaysia. Alright, if that hasn't convinced you yet to just stay away from Malaysia, maybe the following topics will, because Malaysia's not for everyone. If you don't like dipping your toes in the seas and walking along pristine beaches, then Malaysia's not your place to be, because there's 99 islands here in Malaysia, and you can visit most of them. Besides that, there are endless beaches in both Peninsular Malaysia and Malaysian Borneo. So if you're not a beach lover, don't come to Malaysia. Speaking of beaches and sea, I have some bad news for you. In 2020, a Malaysian dive operator was named the world's #1 dive operator by Dive magazine. They're based in Sabah and they're called Scuba Junkie. Sabah is one of the Malaysian states on the island of Borneo, and that state is also home to some of the best dive spots on the globe. Clear blue seas and thriving coral as far as you can see. There's turtles there, whale sharks, and other unique marine wildlife. Well, I guess if you don't like swimming, then take Malaysia. Just take it off your bucket list. All right, it's morning. It's nice and quiet, so really the mornings are the ideal time to go for a stroll through one of the beautiful cities here in Malaysia. But that's not what I even wanted to mention. I'll go sit down and I'll tell you about another reason why you should really never come to Malaysia. Malaysia is one of the most multicultural countries in the whole world. And with these cultures come all these festivals that everyone celebrates here. You've got Christmas, Chinese New Year, Hari Raya, Deepavali, Gawai, and so many other festivals celebrated here in Malaysia throughout the year. There's always something happening, there's always something going on. So if you don't like festivals, if you don't like learning about different cultures and their traditions, their food, their livelihood, if you don't like any of that, well, you know, don't visit Malaysia. Malaysia is a country with amazing tropical weather. Yeah, the sun shines here every single day. But I'm not talking about how great the weather is here in Malaysia. No, I wanted to talk about that tropical weather creates amazing tropical fruits. Yes. Here in Malaysia, there are so many types of fruits available all year round. Everyone knows bananas and coconuts, and these common fruits are literally sold at almost every street corner in every city here in Malaysia. Now, have you ever heard of these tropical fruits called mangosteen, durian, cempedak? Have you heard of them? Well, these amazing fruits are also available here in Malaysia, and they're always fresh. So if you never eat fruit, well, basically if you never eat at all, don't come to Malaysia. All right, earlier on I mentioned a little bit about the intensely friendly people that live here in Malaysia. Especially here in Malaysian Borneo, there are so many indigenous people that still live very deep in the jungle. There are villages up rivers into this thick rainforest. There are people living in the highlands of Borneo, in between tall mountains. Can you imagine spending some time at these villages? Because yes, you can visit all of them. Imagine spending time there and eating rice harvested by your host family with fresh vegetables straight from the jungle. Just imagine swimming at pristine and beautiful clear watered waterfalls. Imagine, just imagine for a second. Well, if you're not adventurous and if you basically don't want to meet people, don't come to Malaysia. Like I mentioned in my previous video, if you don't like breathtaking nature, amazing wildlife, the friendliest people, beautiful cities and waterfalls, beaches, islands, well, if you don't like any of that, then don't come to Malaysia because it would really not be worth it. Now I hope that I finally convinced you not to come to Malaysia because it might just not be your place to visit. Now, I have to go to one of my favorite coffee shops to drink delicious local coffee in the hot sun with a fan, of course, cooling me down while being served by the friendliest waiters. Well, this is the end of the video. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Now, a little side note, of course, this was all a way for me to tell you that you should absolutely visit Malaysia because it is an amazing country and I love living here. All right, we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.